and welcome back to my channel. You're going to be seeing this video in the new year, so happy new year. I'm so glad that I get to do this with you guys in the new year and that you stuck around. I also hope that 2025 was a good year for you, and even if it wasn't a good year, I hope that you've not lost hope or ruled out 2026. But let's get to the point of this video. This video is about goal setting and planning for a new year, and I spent the earlier part of my day doing just that. I would also like to start by saying that planning for a new year doesn't happen in one day for me, and I just want you to know that you don't have to do everything in one day. It takes me a couple of days to properly plan for a new year, and so I planned for a new year in two phases. The first phase is me reflecting on the past year and just going back to how the past year went, and then the second phase is for me to actually draw or write out the plans for the new year. So I have my laptop with me and I have my Notion open. I usually do like the overall plan for the year in my Notion, but my day-to-day planning are usually in my notepads. My yearly reflections are in three phases. The first phase is just me doing a year in review, and in this part I ask myself three questions, and I have those questions here. The first question is, what did I do that I wanted to do? And here I advise myself, or I encourage myself to be gracious, because it's very easy for you to downplay a lot of the things that went wrong for you in the previous year and see them as nothing. So I asked myself to graciously think of everything I did this year, the things I said I was going to do, and even if I didn't actually plan for them, but they were good things that I did for myself, I write them down in this section when I'm answering this question. The second question is, what did I not do that I wanted to do? So this part just includes things that I wrote down for myself that I said I was going to do in the year and I ended up not doing them. Or even if I didn't write them down at the beginning of the year, maybe sometime or some points along the year, I decided that there was something I wanted to get done before the end of the year, and I ended up not doing it. And in this part, I encourage myself to be honest, because it's very easy to overlook, or sometimes it hurts to actually say out loud where you think you have a fault. And so I'm honest enough for myself and I write down everything exactly the way it is. The third question is, what did I do that I did not want to do? And this section just covers things that I said I wasn't going to do in the new year, but I ended up still doing them. And in this section, I encourage myself to be vulnerable. I think it's a very brave thing to acknowledge to yourself that you made a mistake yet again, and that's the first step in making sure you don't do it again. By the time I'm done writing, I have a whole list of things that I may have not thought about if I didn't have this prompt. Another guide to doing a yearly reflection or doing a year in review is to go through your camera roll. I love this one so much. I made a post on Instagram just doing like my best things of 2025, and pictures help me remember things. So it could be a picture, but the picture held a memory, or the picture represented a certain moment or a point in my life, and it just helped me to see my year better, just go through everything and remember things. A year is a very long period of time, so it's very, very easy to forget everything that happened in a year. And I think that a bonus point to this while going into the new year is to document, because if you don't document, you won't have these pictures or videos to go back to, or even notes that you might have written down. You won't have them to go back to remember how your year went. So going into the new year, I think it's something that I should take note of, that we should document more. After I do a year in review, the next thing I like to do is a practical check-in. So at this point, I am checking in with a lot of things. The first thing I check in with are my goals. Most times I might find out that a certain goal that I set for myself in the year, I may not have achieved it because maybe I became a different person, or my interests changed, or my desires changed, and that was why I didn't pursue it anymore. So I kind of realign myself. I also want to find out if there are some goals that need more than 1 year for me to complete, and then I have to carry them into the next year. I also want to know like if there are some things that I didn't even achieve at all and I still very much want to achieve them, so I take note of them, that I'm going to push them over into the next year. Another thing I do is reevaluate relationships that I have. What is dead weight? Am I holding on to any relationship that I don't think I should be holding on to anymore? How can I do better in some relationships, or how well did I do in some of these relationships? I also reevaluate my subscriptions. Are there any things that I'm currently subscribed to that I don't need to anymore? Maybe apps or software that I paid for. It also helps me make a mental note of the expenses that I'll be incurring in the new month, and just seeing if there's anything I still actively use and need to be subscribed to. Another thing I reevaluate is my social media, and I don't wait till the end of the year to do this. At different points in the year, I just go through my social media following and unfollow any account or pages that I don't think that I still need to be following, or I don't think that aligns with me, or I enjoy their content anymore. And sometimes I also remove myself from some people's following list. And something that goes hand in hand with this is doing a declutter. When you do this check-in, you would find things that no longer serve you, or things that you don't need to hold on to anymore, and this will help you let go of them and make space for things that you actually need to fit into your life. Clothes you don't wear, it could even be a new outfit you bought but you actually never wore. Maybe you bought it because it looked nice, and then when you got it didn't fit the way you thought, or you didn't like it anymore, but you spent money on it, so you've been holding on to it. So just let go of outfits, shoes, makeup, skincare, just bits and bobs that you've accrued over the year and you find that you don't want to, or you shouldn't be keeping anymore. I also made a video where I decluttered my space, and it's going to go up after this one. I think that you should watch it. You don't have to declutter at the start of the year or at the end of the year. You can do it at any point in the year that you just see that you need to. And when I'm done doing these 3 major things, then I can now go into planning my year proper. Sorry for the break in transmission. I want to make some fruit slushy, but it's a bit frozen, so I want to leave it to thaw for a few minutes before I put it in the blender. But let's keep talking. So when it comes to planning your year or just goal setting in general, I'm going to break this down into very easy ways for you to do it so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, or how I do it so that I don't feel overwhelmed. Like I said earlier, I don't do all these things in one day just because I think that it could be mentally overloading for you, especially if you feel like there are a lot of things that you want to get done or you don't even know where to get started. Either I space it out to span throughout the day so I can take some breaks in between to let my brain reset a bit and then come back to it, or I can do it like over a span of 2 or 3 days, and I just tell myself that on these particular days these are the areas that I'm going to be covering, so that I can fully give it like the mental effort that I need, and I know that I'm giving it my best and actually writing down things that I really want. The first thing that I'm going to advise you to do is to prayerfully write down a vision. There's a reason why Habakkuk 2 verses 2 to 3 exists, and it says that you should write down a vision and make it plain, so whosoever is reading it would run with it. And it makes sense, it's a no-brainer. There's this thing that we used to do when I was in secondary school. They'll tell us that, like, if you know the scores that you want to get in your test or exam, that you should write it down somewhere, paste it and be looking at it. And to be honest, in as much as it doesn't work as magic, but it serves as a reminder. If you write something at the beginning of the year, January 1st, or whenever you write it, maybe December, that this is what I want to do during the year, a lot of things are going to happen during the year, and it's very quick for you to forget the goals that you set or the things that you said that you're going to do. But writing it down somewhere that you can constantly see to remind yourself, it's very helpful in recentering you and just helping you to rebalance yourself and get back on track if you end up veering off point. That's one thing I also regret not doing last year. I said I was going to do it, that while I was writing my goals, I was going to look for scriptures to back up each of my goals, and I ended up not doing it. I'm not ashamed to admit it, because it's something that I've said that I don't want to repeat. And this year, after writing down each goals, I'm going to look for scriptures that back up those certain goals, or scriptures that are going to encourage me throughout the year when it comes to those goals, so that I can just go back to them every time. The second thing that I also want you to do is that when you're writing your goals, break them down into categories. Your life is very wide. There are many things that you probably want to do, but if you break your life down into categories, then you'll be able to now look at them and say, okay, which of these categories do I really want to do something in this year? You don't have to have a goal under every single category. For some of them, like I said, some of them you may just be carrying over goals from the previous year into the new year. Okay, this thing I did last year, I want to keep doing them this year. So it's nothing new, it's just you continue what you were doing because you're fine with how that area of your life is going. But for some others, you need to set new goals, or you need to be more intentional about them. It just helps your mind be more organized when you're thinking of your goals. So if you come and say, oh, I want to just write my goals, your mind is going to be very scattered, trying to pick from different points. Oh, I think I want to lose weight this year. I also think I want to be a better friend this year. Oh, I also think that I want to grow my income this year. But if you write it down in different categories, when you're in, let's say you're in finances, you know that everything your brain is trying to think of is related to your finances, and you're able to think of more things. You're going to have more quality in the goals that you're writing, because your brain is only focused on one category per time. And I'm going to leave a list of the categories that I use when I'm writing my goals. Like I said before, you don't have to use every single category, but these are some of the important categories that I think when you're writing your goals, you should just think about them. Then another thing is to write just one goal under each category. A lot of people advise you not to write a vague goal, that vague goals are not helpful. But I feel like for someone that gets easily overwhelmed with goal setting, or you're new to it, or you don't know what to do, I would advise the person to write that vague goal. If when you get to the finance section and your goal is, oh, I want to grow my income, then after writing that big goal, you know that, okay, this is the overall picture that I want when I think of my finances this year, or I want to lose weight, right? I know that, okay, when I think of my health this year, this is what I want to come to the end of the year and say, oh, because I lost weight this year, I ticked my health goals. Do you understand? So it may sound vague, but it's like saying that it's the summary of what your heart wants for the year, and I'll advise you to write that big goal exactly as it is. Don't try to tweak it, write it the way it is. Another thing I'll say you should do is, when you're planning out your goals or when you're writing them down, ask yourself why. Because sometimes you may be copying another person's goal. It's not something you want. So if you ask yourself, oh, why do I want this thing? And you think, and you're like, maybe I don't really want it. Or I want it because I saw people doing their 2025 wrap and it looked so nice. People did this, people did that. Everybody was traveling. Everybody was 10xing their income. People were saying that they read 20 books this year. So I'm not saying that it's not like you cannot adopt from people's goals. But if you think about your whys for each goal, it's not anything that you really want, or it's not even something that ties into your life in general, like how the picture of your life, then you don't need to put that down as a goal for yourself, right? So asking yourself why is very, very important. So after you write down your one vague goal under the categories that you selected to use, then you want to now break that one goal into mini super specific goals. Now when you're doing this one, you've now come from a mindset of, this is the overarching goal that I want in this category, but how am I going to get there? What are the very specific things that I need to do this year that will enable me get to this goal? And I'm going to give you a framework when you're writing down these mini goals. I've been talking for about 5 minutes now, and they are starting to come apart, so I can put it in my blender now. I love making this because it's very, very refreshing. Like, it's very cold. It's like crushed ice, and whenever like I want to drink something sweet, but I don't want to have like soft drink or boxed juices, I just freeze up watermelon and pineapple and I blend it when it's frozen. Things that this one came out a lot more watery than it's supposed to. It's literally supposed to be like ice cream. You should be able to eat it with a spoon, but I was too impatient to wait for the blender to break it down properly, so I just added water, and I was scared of spoiling the blender too. I think the blender is on its, I don't know, it's not performing as good as it used to, but this is something that is very nice to start your day with. I would recommend it. The framework for setting super specific goals is an acronym called SMART. The S stands for specific. So you ask yourself, is this goal very specific? So after you tell yourself that you want to lose weight, then you want to tell yourself, how much weight do I want to lose? Because you can lose 1 kg, you've lost weight, right? But you still be unhappy. So if you say, oh, I want to lose 10 kg, for example, That's a more specific goal than saying you want to just lose weight. The next one is M, and M stands for measurable. A goal that you're setting needs to be measured. That's the only way that you know that, one, that you're on track, and two, that you actually achieve that goal. So you need to know, what kind of measures am I going to put in place to make sure that I can actually track this goal. Then the A stands for achievable. Most times people copy goals of other people and they don't consider their own lifestyles, right? You have to consider your lifestyle, or like your resources that are at your disposal, to see if it's feasible for you to actually do these goals. Then the R is for two things. It could either be relevant or realistic, and I think that when you set a goal that is achievable, it kind of makes it realistic for you. So I'm going to talk about the relevance in it. Not every goal is going to fit into every season of your life or wherever you find yourself at time. So whenever you're writing down your goals, you have to bear in mind, how relevant is this goal to where I am or where I'm planning to go. Some goals are just fillers, like they're just things that you have just so you have goals, but they are not actually leading you to where you want to go, or who you want to be, or how you want to look at the end of the year, for example. T is for time bound, and I think that everything, they kind of play into each other, because for your goal to be super specific, you need to allocate a certain time to it, right? So if you're saying that I want to lose 10 kg, I want to lose 10 kg in 10 months, I want to lose 10 kg in 1 year, instead of saying that I want to lose 10 kg in before the end of the month. To you, it may be, oh, based on my lifestyle, the amount of time I'll be able to go to the gym, how I can afford to eat, or how I can afford to live my life, or whatever. This is what I know that is a more feasible timeline for me to achieve this particular goal. That's the framework. I just hope that I've explained it to the best that I can. I'm going to try and leave some examples of goals that I set following this framework on the screen, so that you can just see more examples of it. Then the next thing that you want to do after setting these goals is to put in place systems. No matter how specific you write down these goals, no matter how wonderfully planned you write down these things, sometimes you will still get to the end of the year and find out that you didn't achieve a lot of things. And that's because goals are, I would say that goals are like the beautiful leaves or fruits that you see on a tree, but the systems are the things that make sure that when I plant a seed, it's going to grow into a tree. I don't know if you understand. So it means that your systems will now be, what will I make sure that I do to ensure that I get there? It could be things like reminders. It could be a tracker. You could build a tracker or set up a simple tracker and place it somewhere in your room that, you know, every day I'm going to tick. Did I go to the gym today? Tick. Did I brush my teeth at night today? Tick. Did I do this? Tick. So you're able to see at a glance how well you are doing some of the things that you're supposed to do. You could also be having an accountability partner, and I think that this one is very effective, and many people run away from doing it because it just means that you're not going to do things at your comfort, at a comfortable pace, or do things in your while staying in your comfort zone, right? It means that there's another person that you've now told this person, oh, if I don't do this thing, make sure that you're on my neck. And I feel like this is one of the most effective ways of achieving a goal. Once you tell somebody else about it and ask the person to keep, not just telling somebody for telling sake, but telling the person and asking them to keep you accountable, especially someone that cares about you, it really helps. And another thing that I want you to put in mind when you're writing down systems, write down anti-systems. So if systems are things that will let you get to that goal, anti-systems are things that will not let you get to goal. So whenever I write a goal, have that in mind, that it is possible that I will fail, but what will make me fail? And you start tackling it as you're writing it. So for example, if it's that your fridge is always stocked with things, it means that, oh, I may have to make sure that I don't have any snacks in my fridge at all, so that I don't see anything. So even if I fall into temptation that, oh, I wake up by 11 in the night or by 12 and I'm hungry and I want something to snack on, maybe the only thing in my fridge is water or an apple, or maybe like just something that is going to prevent you from snacking. That could be like something that you've clocked and you say, okay, I will make sure that I don't buy any snacks to have in my fridge. If it's that you want to spend less, or following certain pages make me overspend, so just go and unfollow those pages. We know that, oh, the reason I overspend is because I'm always seeing all these things, or I'm following pages that sell these things. If you're not constantly seeing it on your feed, or it's not constantly coming up, before you know it, you're kind of desensitized to just impulse shopping. I hope that this makes things clearer for you. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about when it comes to goal setting is that you should create an environment that is going to make sure that you achieve your goals. An environment can be anything. It could be people around you. It could be your social environment, it could be your physical environment, it could be like an actual job, like your career environment. And I think this is also why these anti-systems help you, because it also helps you to flag an environment that you might be in that is not going to allow you to achieve your goal. So you have to curate that environment. If you need to let go of, or you need to reduce how you interact with some people because there's somewhere that you're going to, then by all means do that. It could also be a place that you're working in. Try your best to grow or do things that will push you to test more of your skills or exercise some of your strengths, but they keep limiting you in that place. Then you may just have to take the hard decision to leave that place and go to somewhere that is going to allow you to grow so that you can reach your career goals. So I stepped out to get a few new journals. These are my current journals, and while I was writing down my goals, I decided that I needed to get 2 extra journals for specific things. This is my on-the-go journal. That's what I like to call it, because I carry it everywhere with me. That's why it's very small. I write all my ideas that come to my mind. I plan my day on the go. I plan like my shots in my videos. I do everything in this small book because I can just carry it wherever I'm going. This one is my sermon notes. I write sermons that I either listen to on YouTube or when I go to church. And this is my work note. So tasks that relate to work or just to-dos or plans that I have for business or career in general. That's what goes into this particular notebook. But then I decided that I needed 2 extra journals. So those journals, they still very much have space in them, so I'm not replacing them. I'm just going to continue writing in them. But I got 2 new journals. So this is what the first one looks like. I don't want to keep writing a lot of things in my small notes, so I wanted to get a dedicated book for my creative ideas and just planning my content, so I know that like everything is in a different place and it's not mixed up with a bunch of other things that I just write on the go. Ideas, strategies, everything related to it. I'm going to write them inside this book. And then I got this one. So it's a simple A5 note, and I want to use it as my devotion note and a prophecy book. So last year I wanted to take my devotion a lot more seriously, so I would read my Bible in the morning, but I was not consistent with writing down things that I either learned or just how I plan to apply those scriptures, just for it to stay on the top of my mind and for me to refer back to it when necessary. So that's what I want to use this book for. And I also wanted to write prophecies. It's also something I want to do this year, find scriptures that speak into my life in certain areas and write them down in this book, so that if I'm going through something and I just need a reminder or I need something to pick myself up or pick my spirit up, I have prophecies concerning me from the Bible written here that I can go back to and I can use it to remind myself. I also ordered a board that I wanted to keep on my wall so that I could write things that I don't want to easily forget. It came very damaged and I can't really use it, so I'm going to get another one. Although I've gotten a refund for this, but I'm going to get a new one. And I think that brings us to the end of this video. I just thought that I should do this so that I share some of the things that I do to make sure that I am not just writing lofty goals, but I'm writing things that I know that align with me, one, and things that I know that I'm going to surely put my mind to and do. I think that overall, regardless of planning or goal setting the proper way, the only thing that is going to ensure that you actually achieve those goals is for you to do the things that you say that you're going to do. So if you write something down or you tell yourself that you're going to do something, the only way to get it done is to actually do it, not to plan to do it, not to make up a vision board, but to actually wake up every day and say, this thing that I want to do, I must do it. It starts from the smallest things. If you tell yourself that you're going to call somebody, call the person. If you tell yourself you're going to follow up on something, follow up on that thing. If you say you're going to wake up at 6, when your alarm for 6 rings, stand up by 6 o'clock. That's the only way that you're going to make sure that you're actually on your way to achieving all your goals. I hope that this video was very, very helpful to somebody, and I hope that we all crush our goals in the new year and we don't lose ourselves. Finally, I'm just going to end by saying this, and I just wanted to make sure that whatever goals that you're writing for the new year, I hope that you're not writing them because you hate your life or because you want someone else's life so badly, but I hope that you're writing them because you know who you can actually become and you're falling in love with becoming that person. I'm going to see you in my next video. Take care of yourself.